Now, Delhi reported 153 new black fungus infections yesterday, and the Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal then issued regulations under the Epidemic Diseases Act, making it mandatory for healthcare facilities to report cases of the infection. The notification comes amid a spike in cases of mucormycosis, commonly known as black fungus, in the national capital. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said that there were currently 620 cases of black fungus. So, with the addition of yesterday's numbers, it has now climbed to 773. Karnataka, too, hit with hundreds of cases of mucormycosis, is trying to change its approach to tackle the new challenge. The state is stopping the use of steroids in the first week of COVID treatment and is also going to be screening patients before the discharge and monitoring them later.
Karnataka is changing the way it is tackling mucormycosis with respect to patient treatment and post-COVID monitoring. Steroids are to be avoided in the first week of treatment of a COVID patient. Before discharge, recovered patients will be screened for the black fungus with an MRI scan if needed. District hospitals will follow up on discharged patients to check for symptoms through a dedicated post-COVID ward, where patients could come for checkups or through telemedicine consultation. With well over 400 confirmed cases in the state, the main drug for treatment, amphotericin B, is in high demand. Over 8,000 vials have been allocated to the state in the last week, and the government is also trying to source alternatives.
We are following it up with already the people infected with the COVID-19 and ensuring the follow-up, the screening can happen in the initial levels. The alternative drugs are available even now.
There are around 100 patients being treated for black fungus at the Bengaluru Medical College Hospital, many more at other government and private hospitals.
While we don't have to scare people about mucor and black fungus, we also need to create awareness to ensure what we have seen in our setups. Number one is they've all been COVID positive. Number two, at some point, a lot of them have been given steroids. The fourth is about 30 to 40% of them had given oxygen in some point. And lastly, none of them have been vaccinated.
Another reminder that those who recover from COVID could still face serious health challenges and that these new challenges need modified approaches. With DM Kumar, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Well, to talk more about the COVID situation in the country, we're now joined by Dr. Achint Narang, Head Department of Critical Care, Alchemist Hospital, Panchkula. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us. First and foremost, this issue or this concern over the cases of black fungus, and now you just saw there Karnataka's issued guidelines on how to treat patients who are now leaving the hospital. But also importantly, they've also said that in the first week of infection, don't give steroids, that this is one of the reasons they feel that is causing this increase in such cases. Your view on that?
Good morning. See, my view is very clear that steroids definitely are a factor which can lead to mucormycosis infections later. But steroids may be mandatory. Those are the only proven therapy in the UK study where they were, if used in early disease, dexamethasone could prevent the progression of COVID disease to severe forms. So I would say it has to be used judiciously and not in every case or mild case, maybe moderate to severe cases, steroids are mandatory. So wherever required, they have to be used, but judiciously enough so that we do not make patients prone for, mucormycosis infections in the later phase of the disease or after the disease is over.
Right, absolutely, because it needs to be emphasized to people who are now refusing to take steroids that this is the only treatment we have when you do have a serious illness. Also, Doctor, the concern now is, even as the cases are coming down in our cities, and that's due to the lockdown, about rural India and how we're not really getting a good handle on how many cases are there. There's so much hesitancy. People in Punjab especially don't even want to come and get tested. They don't want to come for the vaccines.
Ma'am, definitely the rural numbers, if we see by the government data, now the focus has shifted from tier 1 and tier 2 cities to the small towns and rural areas. But definitely there is hesitancy to take vaccines and to proceed for it, but that's the only way out actually. If we really want to prevent further waves coming in, wherein we end up with so many difficulties like shortage of beds and oxygens, which we have already witnessed in this current wave. Now, definitely it's slowing down, but it is not yet over, far from over. The new cases coming in definitely have decreased, but the number of serious cases or number of mortalities have not come down yet. They still remain to be high.
All right, we're also joined by Dr. G. Kiran Kumar, consultant interventional cardiologist from Srikara Hospital. Thank you so much, doctor, for joining us. Now, finally, when you've had a moment, really to assess the situation, given that the cases have come down, the pressure has eased somewhat on our hospitals. What is the situation like over there? What are your concerns now? Are you seeing any sort of shortages that need to be highlighted?
Yeah, the number of cases have been come down dramatically in this area, and because of the lockdown, I believe, and also because the number of people coming outside and taking the tests also decreased. Maybe because of we don't know. Whatever the reason be, the number of cases have been decreased, and we are looking at the number of bed occupancy in hospitals have decreased, and so what I believe is for sure number of cases have definitely decreased. And the availability of oxygen and the facilities provided by government have been good, and so big improvement in the patient's case profile.
Doctor, I was just discussing with Dr. Achint Narang about the situation in rural India, in Punjab and Haryana, how there's a lot of hesitancy over the vaccines, the hesitancy to go get even tested for coronavirus. Tell us about what you're hearing from the rural parts there, because that really is now the concern about how extensively the virus has spread in those areas.
Yes, ma'am. Rural involvement has also been considerably high in the recent days with the second wave. And yeah, because of nowadays people are becoming aware of the things and getting involved in getting adequately tested and taking treatment early part of infection. And that whatever in these areas, the rural cases will also detected and taking early treatment. And maybe on those parts, maybe they are a bit hesitant. Initially, they were hesitant to take tests or also to take vaccinations or to take treatment. Nowadays, people are a bit aware, and they are provocated through government activities to take early initiation towards disease improvement and control of the disease.
All right, Dr. Achint Narang, your concerns now going forward, given that cases hopefully they're on the decline, hopefully we'll see more of a decline, and perhaps in a month or so they should come down even lower. However, the concerns remain how our vaccine shortage is being faced now in many parts of the country, and that's the only protection we have. So we really have to use that time when cases are down, isn't it, to aggressively vaccinate people?
Yes, I definitely agree that only aggressive vaccination program can prevent us from, landing up again in another wave. Vaccines, though, allowed for 18+, but there have been issues with the provision of vaccines and availability of vaccines of late. And only now, even as for today in Punjab, they have involved youth of Punjab to motivate and get people vaccinated. But yes, there has been no free supply till now. I hope situation improves. But definitely now the government is making up many centers in all bigger cities. Multiple hospitals, private hospitals even have been involved to vaccinate in larger number. And only good vaccination program can prevent further spread of this virus.
Right. Dr. Kumar, there's also been a lot of controversy over our numbers, the number of cases, also the number of deaths. And many experts believe that we need to count, all the deaths during this period just to get a real grip on the numbers if you compare from the previous year, because a lot of COVID patients post-COVID, even after they recover, there are a lot of deaths due to other complications, even heart attacks.
The very pathogenesis of coronavirus is that formation of this thrombosis, and it can happen anywhere, and it happened with the coronary arteries also. So the clogging of the coronary arteries which supply the heart muscle, if they get clogged, the patient is supposed to develop myocardial infarction. And people who undergoes intervention, the percutaneous intervention or anything, they may again possibility of developing restenosis. So the number of cases presenting with myocardial infarction pre and post procedure is high. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Relatively high.
All right. Thank you so much, doctors, for joining us on the program this morning. I know your time is very precious right now. Thank you very much.